Now, two marvelous sets of tennis by James Blake. The American up 6-3, 7-6. One more set, and the U.S. will have a 2-love lead here on day one of this World Group Championship match here at the Portland Memorial Coliseum. I'm Leif Shiras. Jimmy Arias is in the booth. And Jimmy, that was the kind of performance you like to see from James Blake. It was a clutch tiebreaker, and he delivered.
He came through when he needed to, and that is what's been lacking, quite frankly, in his game a lot of times over the years, is coming through in big pressure situations. He did it in that second set, and I felt like he needed to win that second set, Leaf. I don't like his chances if this match goes the distance.
James Blake has to be feeling good about playing back on a hard court surface. Undefeated in hard courts in Davis Cup play.
That's too good. It's time to keep that momentum going now if you're Blake. Don't let up early in this third set. Good start for him.
And Jimmy, you get Blake on a surface like this, he just is a different sort of player, isn't he? He can find a way to get to the end of the point more easily.
And you know what? He's so fast that he can still run down balls on this quick surface. And it just makes his flat ground strokes that much more effective.
Now, back in April, quarterfinal match against Spain, he opened up that tie with a win over Tommy Robredo. Remember, Robredo was a top 10 player on a surface virtually similar to this. He nearly pulled it off, didn't he?
Južnij almost stumbled a little bit going to that forehand volley. Don't know if he thought he'd hit a winner there, but it took him a while to get back in play for that swinging volley. And Blake normally makes that forehand on the run. Boy, that serve has paid dividends for everybody that's played on this court today. Out wide, under pressure, it's the serve to go to.
Ten aces for Blake. And that's a good start here in the third set. So Blake serving well, just like his teammate Andy Roddick did in the opening match. Roddick serving 25 aces in his victory over Dmitry Tursunov. And obviously when you play on a court with this kind of speed and pace, first serve is so critical. And you can see in the second set it was Blake who didn't have a great percentage, but when he did get the first serve in, he was winning a majority of those points. And good numbers from him in terms of winners and unforced errors.
Well, he's played a clean match to this point, Blake, and when he's getting the first serve in, 86% of the time he wins the point in the match. He hasn't lost one. 4-4 so far to start the third set. That has been the difference, is the American players' first serves are more effective.
And now Južnij to try to even things up here in game number 2 of the third set. Južnij down 2 sets, and in his career
he's done it just a couple of times at the U.S. Open, the year he made a run to the semifinals in 2006, and you saw that Davis Cup final from 2 sets to love down in the 5th match against Matu.
Big serve there, wide, skidding. Blake can't handle it. 30-15.
Nice body serve right at the right hip from Južnij, and that's where Blake, you almost laugh sometimes. He still tried to hit as hard as he could, completely out of position. And the flip side of hitting it as hard as you can, you're going to come up with some winners. You're going to put some pressure on your opponent, especially on second serves.
And the serve to the body again. Južnij, and it pays off.
It's a bit of a dangerous serve because if you miss by just 6 inches or so, it's right in the strike zone for Blake's forehand. Twice in a row he got him right in the hip.
And just a reminder, the Davis Cup final continues tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Doubles match, the Bryan brothers against Igor Andreev and Nikolai Davydenko. Do you think it's going to be Andreev and Davydenko?
I think a lot of it depends on who wins this match. As you get a look at Davydenko, the highest ranked player on the Russian team, didn't get chosen to play singles today.
The challenge, and the Rolex review says out.
But I think if the U.S. gets a 2-love lead, we will not see Davydenko and Andreev playing together tomorrow. I think the Russians, and I'm not sure who they'll bring out, but most likely Tursunov, Južnij. They're the better doubles team.
If you're Shamil Tarpashev, then you're trailing 2-0 tomorrow. Who do you trot out there for doubles?
Well, that's a good question, and Tarpashev has always seemingly played the right cards at the right time, but you feel a little bit as if he's running out of cards when he has to play the table against the Bryan brothers. Well, Davydenko and Andreev did win an important doubles match against France, so they do have a little bit of success, but that was on clay. On this fast hard court, you feel like Andreev would be struggling. Davydenko, one of the great service returners in the game. There's a look at one of the world's best players on the sidelines. You almost feel like, hey, he's got to play somewhere in this match, so get him in the doubles.
And speaking of the Russian captain, he has quite a resume, Jimmy.
Well, he seems to always come up with the right answers. Winning a Fed Cup earlier this year, one of 3 men to win the Fed Cup and Davis Cup. 2 French, Yannick Noah and Guy Forget.
Južnij painting both sidelines.
The return set things up, and I thought he'd miss this drop shot when he first hit it, but just inside.
A good choice by Blake there. And He leads 2-1. Here in Portland, as James Blake is up 2-0 on Mikhail Južnij of Russia, serving to even things up here in set number 3. He's up with ace number 6 on the day.
Južnij thinks he's found something with that body serve. That time it missed a little bit to the left for Blake, and he was able to handle the return and eventually take control of the point with another winner volley.
I'm not sure Blake was convinced that serve was in, but he'll live with it. 30-15.
Great forehand on the run. Južnij's dangerous. I think he's someone that should come to net a little bit more. He's covered the net beautifully. Even though he wasn't able to handle the pace of that forehand pass from Blake, he still got his racket on it. Nearly came up with the volley. Crucial point now for Južnij at 30 all.
Oh, when he comes up big.
Blake challenging. I think that ball caught.
Rolex official review on that serve. Well in. And the game to Južnij. Hold serve. And we are at 2-2 in the third. Now Blake was asked about his fitness before this Davis Cup tie began, and he said, you know what, I'm feeling fine. I could go 2 5-setters if I have to.
Well, he just wanted to show you some of that athletic ability there on the slam dunk overhead. Boy, did he pull down on that second serve. Smashed his head into his chest. He pulled down so quickly.
Fourth double fault for Blake, but he responds with that service winner. 10 aces.
Doing a great job when he gets that first serve in. As you see, 87% of the points. He has struggled when he misses first serves. He's done just a good enough job. Just over 50% for the match, first serve percentage.
Well played by Južnij.
That's something, if you're at home, you can learn from a little bit. What Južnij did there was he hit the return. He realized it was a great return and then came to net to clean up any sitters that Blake might get back in play. That wasn't supposed to be an approach shot, but he didn't wait. As soon as he saw how good the return was, he came flying in. almost mistimed that overhead badly used, and he still got away with it, but shanked the overhead. All of a sudden, the crowd has gotten a little flat. It's like one match up for the U.S., 2 sets to love. It all seems to be going fine.
Usually kind of lucky he had plenty of court to work with there. And the break to the Russian. Mikhail Južnij. Up 3-2. Third set. And welcome back. James Blake up 2 sets to none, but a break here in set number 3. A little change of momentum for the Russians.
Certainly is. It's been coming for a while, this change of momentum for Južnij. You could feel it throughout the second set. Blake was able to fend him off in that second set in a tiebreak, but now Blake in a little trouble, down a break.
You can see Južnij a bit charged up now. Big serve there.
Really helps, obviously, Južnij, the fact that he's come back from 2 sets to love a couple of times in his career. He can think back about those moments. And Blake has lost a couple of 2-set leads in his career as well. Južnij sending a message to Blake. I'm down 2 sets to love, but I'm still here. I'm still fighting, when he's doing that, yelling to his bench and fist pumping and the theatrics that he's going through at this point.
And somebody just let the air out of this building.
The only ones clapping are about the 40 fans or so from Russia.
And the ace for Južnij, and that looked easy. 4-2. And a reminder, Andy Roddick won his singles match with Dmitry Tursunov earlier today, 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. And Blake up 2 sets here in the second singles match. But down a break here in set number 3.
Such a great weapon that Blake has. He gets the first serve in, and then you really don't get another chance to see his backhand the rest of the point, because he can hit that forehand with such pace. He's only lost 7 points in the 51 that he's gotten his first serve in this match so far. That's a tough combination for Južnij to deal with.
Well, that looked like fun. So Blake does his job, holding serve, but still down a break in the third set. Andy Roddick earlier today taking care of business. Dmitry Tursunov, his opponent, and Roddick with a relatively easy 4-4-2 victory. Put the U.S. up 1-0. Blake has a chance to make it 2-0, but he's down a break here in the third.
Danger. Andy Roddick liked that shot to the midsection that Blake had pretty much the whole court here on the overhead, and he said, you know what, I choose right in the hot spot.
What happened to détente? Usually answers with 120-mile-an-hour big serve.
It's really the weakness in some ways for Južnij is that is his big serve, 120, and most of today's players can get in the 130s.
You've got Roddick, who pushes 150. Untimely double fault, his third of the match. And there's a look at the beautiful, historic Davis Cup trophy. The U.S. has won it 31 times, but none in the last 12 years.
Founded by Harvard student Dwight Davis, the Davis Cup, and there haven't been many players from Harvard playing in the Davis Cup. Blake. Blake is the first one since Richard Norris Williams in 1926.
Wow.
Who, by the way, was a survivor of the Titanic. Double faults from Južnij. He's challenging.
The Rolex official review.
Well long.
Yep. The Russians have a Titanic struggle on their hands.
What's funny is I've talked about how tough mentally Južnij is, but he's gotten tight when he's had the opportunities in this match. Serving here up 4-3. That serve long. The crowd really wanted it to be called good the way it was ripped. Gutsy second serve, but then approaches to the forehand of Blake. You're really at Blake's mercy when you do that. And Blake mad at himself that he didn't get enough angle on this forehand pass. Here's the great second serve setting up the short ball, but now Južnij chooses poorly. And Blake hit it with too much pace, not enough angle.
Deuce. So Južnij survives the 8th game of this 3rd set. Nice little comeback for him. And now leads 5-3. See Dmitry Ursanov looking on. Team Karpyshev. Davydenko. And Blake uncorks an ace. Is that a challenge?
Seemed like it. Looked it was well into me.
So 15 love.
Wow, he's had a little trouble with defensive lobs using it. You don't see players today. In the wood racket days, maybe you'd miss a few overheads where the sweet spot was the size of a quarter. But now with these rackets, you should not miss this overhead.
I love it when players apologize for doing that.
And I can tell you from firsthand experience, we never mean it. I'm very excited and happy that that dropped over.
Twelfth ace of the match for Blake. The easy point there for the American. Holding serve, but still down a break. When we come back, the Russian will serve for the 3rd set. Mikhail Južnij climbing back into this match. James Blake won the first 2 sets, 6-3, 7-6. And now Južnij up a break. There's Dmitry Tursunov, who fell to Andy Roddick earlier today. There is Mr. Roddick, a 6-4, 6-4, 6-2 winner. And the pressure squarely on the shoulders of the Russian. Big return by Blake.
He's so dangerous on that forehand side. You're tempted to go out wide because of, as we said, how effective that serve has been on this surface. But Blake will take a mighty wallop if he's there, and you saw it. That's the kind of point I love to see from Blake. He got control early in the rally. Južnij turned it around, and instead of continuing to try to rip, he chipped the backhand, started over, got the ball in play, used his speed to his advantage, and it elicited the error from Južnij. I'd love to see him do that a little more. Not just blind aggression at all times. Did it again, Blake. Ripped the forehand return, but Južnij gets the ball back deep, and Blake throws up a high looper with nothing on it. Gets another error, and suddenly to the delight of the crowd. Some opportunities for Blake to get back in this set.
Three break points for Blake. And just like that, we are back on serve.
That was a lot easier than you would expect. A love break from Blake to get back to even in this third set. Helped out by Južnij's 3 forehand errors. That's the side, his forehand, that has really let him down in this match at the big moments.
That's almost incredibly surprising that Južnij would do that.
It's up to Blake to take advantage of that swing and momentum. This is where being the home crowd really does help, is he should be able to keep it going now. Južnij has got to be disgusted the way he tried to serve out the set. Got a guy a little flummoxed. Let him play a few shots if you're Blake. Don't try to hit that clean winner down the line. Tell you, if you're a Blake fan, you're always in for a wild ride in all of his matches. There's so many ebbs and flows and ups and downs for him.
And you wonder why, Jimmy, he can't do that more often, because that really was a perfect point.
He can, I think. It's just a question of mentally going in. He always has the same strategy of play your game, hit out, go for shots. That's how he feels he has the best chance. Južnij's forehand has suddenly gone AWOL.
Blake show us a little something there. He had a good start for the Russian. Južnij guessing wrong that time, Jimmy.
A little disconcerting in some ways when you play Blake and he hits returns like that. That was a pretty good first serve. But the next thing Južnij knew, he was barely scraping the next ball back. Never really get a comfortable feeling when someone can do that to your first serve.
Oh,
Now you just saw the danger of going down the line when you don't hit a clean winner, as it opens up that angle. And Blake used great wheels to run down the backhand down the line. 2 points away, and a lot of momentum in his side.
And Južnij quickly quiets the crowd. 40-30. That is a sigh of relief from the captain.
Well, you get the feeling that everyone here still thinks that Južnij has a chance, even though he's a couple points away from losing this match. It's still very much in doubt.
Called wide.
It was called wide by Južnij. I didn't know you could call your own lines.
You didn't know that?
No, otherwise I would have been ranked a lot higher.
And for the second straight set, we are on to a tiebreak. Blake to serve first.
Forehand of Južnij again has really fallen apart at the end of this third set. That was a fairly routine second serve right in the strike zone.
Jimmy, that is not an easy shot at the net.
No, that ball was low, and he had to lift it up, get it with power.
A lot of topspin.
Južnij served much better in this third set than at any other time in the match. He's at 75% first serve percentage. And that went 123 miles an hour, which is bigger than most of his serves.
Perfect placement from Blake on the forehand.
If you're Južnij and you get a second serve, you don't want to throw up the mid-court nothing return just to get it in play, because Blake is going to do what you just saw, run around and let a forehand fly.
Well, terrific answer there from the Russian. Little mini break.
Yeah, this is the serve out wide that's been working so well, but Južnij was on at that time. He read it, was leaning to the forehand side.
Looked like an attempted body serve there.
That ball looked wide, and Blake challenges.
Certainly did not look good from here, Jimmy.
Couldn't tell if it was wide or long. It was so.
Might have been both. Let's see. Rolex official review. Do our eyes deceive us?
They
wow,
do.
That's in. Wow. So 4-2. They will change ends. Blake was in control of the first tiebreak in the second set. Južnij in control of this one.
That's not going to work. Not to the backhand of Južnij. It's such a solid shot. And Blake hit that approach with plenty of pace, but you don't want to go cross court, especially to this guy's backhand side.
One sails long. So 5-3 Južnij.
Got to hand it to Južnij. His forehand let him down at the end of this third set, but in the tie break, he missed the first forehand and didn't get tentative. Kept going for it. Paid off on that winner.
Blake had 3 set points in the first tie break, and Južnij has 3 here. Južnij comes through in the third set, winning the tiebreak, and he is back in this match, trailing 2-1 to James Blake. There is a look at the Davis Cup itself. As the Russian Mikhail Južnij has climbed back into this match against James Blake. There's a slight break in the action here as Blake returns from a restroom break. $12,000 plus on hand here at Portland's Memorial Coliseum. It is day 1 of the 2007 Davis Cup final. Andy Roddick made short work of Dmitry Tursunov in the first singles match of the day, and now James Blake up 2-0 over Mikhail Južnij. Južnij has come back to win the third set. We are on to set number 4. When Južnij has has played #2 singles. 3 of his last 4 matches have gone the distance.
He's a guy that doesn't mind going the distance. Blake, on the other hand, has in his career, as I've mentioned, 1 of 10 in 5-set matches, including 4 2-set-to-love leads that have gotten away from him. It's a strange pressure in some ways if you're Blake, realizing I don't do well in 5 sets. I better win this 4th set.
It's so tough to not let negative thoughts like that enter into your play, but they're only human.
No, and that's Patrick McEnroe. One of his jobs is to keep that thought from entering James's head. Keep him in the moment right now. What's happening right at this moment?
Look of dejection from James. Does he let him off the hook here? He eschews the overhead that time and goes with the forehand.
No, he hasn't hit the overhead all that well, so we're not going to see any leaping slam dunks from Južnij like we have from Blake and Roddick. Less flash from Južnij.
Nice slugs that forehand. Comes back from down love 30 to win the first game of the 4th set. Our 3rd set summary. The serve percentage for Južnij much better than Blake. Blake only 51%.
Well, that first serve percentage for Južnij up for him for the whole match. He didn't serve nearly that well the rest of the first 2 sets anyway. And Blake continues to look pretty good in the winners to unforced errors. 18 winners, only 10 unforced errors that break points. Both players able to break 1 time. Blake broke it love when Južnij served for the set. You thought he's got some momentum. He can close this out. He's lost that momentum now. Challenge. Like it might have caught the line, although Blake doesn't seem he's ready to serve a second serve here.
Rolex official review says.
What does it say?
Very close.
It says in. Yeah. I told you it touched the line. Južnij doesn't buy it. He's thinking the Hawkeye was just off as you see him pointing to a mark on the hard court.
There was a tiny bit of fuzz off the line. Birdie log. Once again, a reminder: unlimited challenges here. The Davis Cup final. Challenge as many times as you like. And just like that, we're tied at 1. And again, another look at Blake's Davis Cup year. A loss in the first round against the Czech Republic.
the win against Spain, against Tommy Robredo, but then the dead rubber when U.S. had already wrapped it up against Feliciano Lopez in 2 sets. The same thing in Sweden. He lost the second match of that tie to Thomas Johansson, but then U.S. had wrapped it up already by the time Blake played again.
Blake certainly hoping that's the case again here.
There's that serve to the hip again for Južnij. He's used that pretty effectively. It started in the 3rd set. Early in the 3rd set, he sort of found that spot to serve to.
That's called good. Ace number 9.
Južnij serving at 100% in this set so far. It's still early, but he really has picked up his serve the last set in a couple of games.
All.
Methodical playing from Južnij there. Just kept the pressure all point long on Blake. He could never really turn it around. Tried that topspin lob, not nearly deep enough.
Begging for a ball there.
Oh, wow. First, second serve he's seen in this set, Blake, and he dealt with it harshly. 88 miles an hour right in the wheelhouse.
Blake challenge.
Well, looks like he looked over at the U.S. bench. They told him it was good, so he's not going to bother.
And a big serve there from Južnij. And he holds. The Russian leads 2-1, 4th set. And welcome back to Portland, Oregon. James Blake up 2-1 over the Russian, Mikhail Južnij. There's Tom Gullickson, former U.S. Davis Cup captain.
Captain the last time we won the Cup in '95 against Russia.
On clay.
It's such a great 1-2 punch. Good second serve, up high and wide. And as soon as he noticed that it was a pretty good second serve, you saw him cheating over to the backhand side so he would get a look at a forehand.
Solid start for Blake here. 40 love. Trying to knock things up here at 2-2. And he does so. After winning the first 2 sets, he's lost 4 times. Last time was in the first round of the Davis Cup last year against Chile. Don't mean to be negative, just telling it like it is.
Well, it's a bad thing we've got going with Južnij coming back from 2 sets to love down. Or someone that has done it a few times, and a guy that's lost some 2-set leads, obviously. So Blake hanging in there for now. Južnij taking a little off that first serve, just trying to kick it out wide. It was more of a second serve, only 91 miles an hour. Blake said, "You're going to have to do better than that."
And he does on that first serve.
This is the side where he's really tried to pick on the hip of Blake in the ad court. He's gone to that serve so often on big points. He might be feeling the pressure, might try to hit that right hip here.
Južnij can't believe it.
I think he's going to be surprised when he sees the replay. It looked like it missed to me, and it did.
Slight opening for Blake. Advantage.
Blake's starting to get ready for that serve right at the body. Again, going to the hip. Blake starting to almost run around his forehand so he can block it with his backhand return. Južnij's gone there a couple times too often now. I think he's going to have to mix it up a little bit. Blake's challenging that serve was, he thinks that serve was wide. The unlimited challenges are coming in bunches all of a sudden.
Was called good. Advantage Russia.
There it is again, going for the hip, but if you miss by 6 inches, it sets up that type of return from Blake.
Can't afford to do that. That's like an 85-mile-an-hour fastball to David Ortiz.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It was perfect for Blake. He just had to pivot, turn on, not even really take a step. Boy, is he serving consistently to the same spots in the last few games. He's really upped his first serve percentage, 91%. He's only missed 2 first serves in this set so far. And now we're talking about 23 serves. He's only missed 2. But he's serving to the same place, down the tee in the deuce court, at the hip of Blake in the ad court.
Usually very disappointed with that stroke. And back to deuce we go.
Points of the tie, and it's won by Južnij. Crowd won't come to their feet because the fact that Južnij won the rally, but there was some great stuff throughout that point. Defense from both players with opportunities to attack. Difficult to get away with a lob against Blake, and in that rally Južnij did hit a lob that was just effective enough. Blake couldn't do anything with it.
And so the Russian holds and now leads 3-2 here in the 4th set, the second singles match of the day. Day 1 of the Davis Cup final. Earlier today, Andy Roddick beat Dmitry Tursunov 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. And now a dogfight here between Blake and Južnij. Let's check in with Leif Shiras.
Thanks, Bill. Well, I'm sitting courtside with a very famous U.S. Davis Cup captain, Tom Gullicks, and he's also a fellow cheesehead. Gully, is this such an exciting moment, isn't it?
Almost as exciting as the Packer-Dallas game last night, you know, other than Brett Favre going down. Unbelievable atmosphere here. Fans are great, and both of our guys are playing super tennis.
Well, you were the captain when the U.S. last won the Cup in '95. Talk a little bit about those moments when Sampras pulled out that match, cramping the doubles, and, of course, the final day.
Yeah, Pete won the first match 6-4 in the 5th against Chesnikov. Match point, he hits a winning forehand, collapses on the court in full body cramps. He's in the massage room that night at 9 o'clock. Courier lost to Capel, so we were 1 apiece. I said, Pistol, we need you to play doubles with your good buddy Todd Martin. And Pete looks up at me and goes, doubles, man? I haven't played doubles in a year, and I feel terrible. But the next day he came out, we did a few balls, and we put him in the doubles, and then we played a great doubles match, and then obviously against Kapelnikov, 2, 4, and 6, 130-mile-an-hour ace on game point to win the Cup. So it was awesome.
It was a very special moment, Tom. Thanks for sharing that with us.
You got it, Lee. Thanks.
Terrific backhand winner there from Južnij, and I know I am getting old, but it does seem like only yesterday that the U.S. won that Davis Cup tie.
It was 12 years ago, so not quite yesterday.
Wow.
What Captain Gullickson didn't tell you there was that Kafelnikov, the reason he played Pete, even though Pete had cramped up, was because they were playing against Kafelnikov in doubles, and Kafelnikov thought that Pete was the greatest player, and he had no chance of beating him in any format at any time, and it indeed was the case in that final, even on clay.
Floats long. .15.
That's the one thing I can't understand about Južnij's game in this match is you've got a guy that goes hot and cold in James Blake. You need to be the kind of player when you're playing him that makes Blake feel he's never going to get a free point. So he starts to press. Južnij's giving away some points when he shouldn't.
Now an easy hold there for Blake. And we are 3-3 inside Portland Memorial Coliseum. 12,000 plus on hand in the Davis Cup final. The U.S. and Russia. Russia, the defending champion. The U.S. has not won since 1995. They haven't been at home for the final since '92, and they also won. Well, that is called good, and there will be a challenge. The Russian bench stood up. They saw it long. Let's see.
They were right.
Yep, it wasn't that close.
Surprising is that Južnij didn't see it long. He had to get the word from his bench.
Strong play. 30 love. Good aggressive return there, Jimmy.
Well, Blake's done a good job when he gets to the net. He's won 88% of the points, 30 of 34 now, and that's maybe something he can do more often. The second serve of Južnij is reasonably short. Maybe that's a strategy he can use on a few big points.
Too good.
Dangerous with that backhand down the line, Južnij is. It's very tough for Blake to read it. You don't often see him so flat-footed, Blake. He's leaning the wrong way. 14-9 in backhand winners. That's not a bad number for Blake, to tell you the truth. 9 winners on the backhand side.
This match just over 3 hours old.
It's got 17-15 in the 5th written all over it.
Oh my goodness. Blake says, take that.
And again, a second serve where Blake only has to turn his body, doesn't have to take a step, and then turn through it with that kind of pace. You've got to do a little bit better on the placement if you're Južnij. You've gotten away with 2 second serve, running around on one on the forehand, another forehand winner return. Why try the big backhand return there if you're Blake? You know you're probably going to get a look at it. You can run around and get a look at a forehand.
Now the big service return there for Blake, but he can't make it pay off as the Russian holds. Still on serve, 4th set. And we are back. 4th set. James Blake trying to stay even here.
Some great athletic ability from both of these guys. They both move so well. I love what Južnij did in that rally when he came forward. He just didn't do enough with the drop volley right here. This was the right play, but that ball sat up a little bit, and you can't throw any drop volley at James Blake that sits up even marginally. He's got too much speed.
Well, impressive. 15 all.
That forehand when it left his racket.
Wow.
Slight miss hit from Blake.
Almost like that ball had a homing device in it. Forehand winners. Blake has doubled up Južnij. On the line.
Another miss hit from Blake. It had so much spin that the bottom just dropped out of it. Again, 2 pretty fortunate points in a row for Blake.
And the exclamation point. 4-4 in the 4th. 14th ace of the match for the American.
That's tough in some ways for Blake. When he misses that backhand down the line, you think to yourself, why did he try it? Low ball, wasn't really an opening down the line. But then again, when he just rolls it cross court, Južnij's got a dangerous backhand. Maybe throw a few slice backhands back off those low balls. Keep it low, keep it out of the strike zone a little bit, especially to the forehand side of Južnij.
Double fault, number 6. tension is filling the Coliseum right now.
Južnij's just 1 of 7 second serve points in this set. Blake, listen to me. He starts slicing it back rather than trying to rip it down the line. Patrick McEnroe was up off his chair after those 2 slices, as if to say, yes, that's not a bad play. Certainly the first serve percentage, which had been immaculate in this set for Južnij. 3 straight second serves for Blake.
But the Russian has an answer.
He's a rock mentally, Južnij, in so many ways. These were tough shots that Blake threw at him onto the forehand side that had been a little shaky in this match, and Južnij, when it was a huge point, didn't come up with the error. Played a very solid point.
We're getting tired of these second serves. Sails long.
And this is when the crowd needs to get. They're on their feet. Stay there for a little while.
And they understand.
Let Južnij think about the fact that it's 4-all break point. And if he doesn't convert this point, Blake will serve for the match.
This is the first break point of this set.
The crowd can't contain their glee on seeing a second serve.
And Blake makes him pay. How about that? James Blake converts the first break point opportunity of this 4th set.
Blake has only lost 2 points in this set on his own serve. As you get another look at the break point. Surprised in some way Južnij missed the passing shot, didn't at least make Blake come up with a volley. And you can see the reaction from James. He's pumped. Ready to serve this thing out. And having said all that, he's lost 2 points on his serve. Whenever I watch a Blake match, I'm nervous for him. I'm not sure that he's going to serve that solid of a game here. It's the one great thing about Roddick. You would be pretty confident right now if this was Roddick, he's serving things out. He's going to step up to the line and crank 3 or 4 unreturnables.
What must be going through young Mr. Blake's mind right now? If he holds serve and wins this match, the U.S. would lead 2-0. And with the Bryan brothers going tomorrow,
it looks good.
Need I say more?
is one nasty backhand.
It really is.
From Južnij. Threw a little off speed, heavy ball first, and then ripped through that backhand.
And Blake obviously supercharged right now.
Too charged, as I said. Tough for Blake sometimes to close out matches. And he has exactly in his mind what you were saying just a second ago. We win this 2-love, the Bryans are up. And he's feeling the pressure, and it's showing. So far out in front of that backhand. That's one of the things that happens to Blake when he gets anxious. Doesn't get in his strike zone. He reaches for that backhand.
And how about triple break point for the Russian? There's one back.
And that's what can save him. If he can come through with a couple of big first serves on this surface especially, you can save break points.
But no, the Russian Južnij comes through and breaks right back. 5-5 in the fourth.
Blake, as usual, going for his shots, but when he's a little tight, they don't seem to find their mark. He gave that game away.
Blake with 3 unforced errors in that game.
Had only lost 2 points on his serve in the set until that game. Južnij serving with new balls, and Blake seems to be complaining.
What's that all about? Strong first point from Južnij. See how deflated Blake is right now.
All the old demons coming back in his head. The chances he's had, the 2 set-to-love leads that he hasn't converted. And again, Patrick McEnroe needs on this changeover to talk to him and make him realize he's still just a couple of points away from winning this thing.
He cannot be thrilled about the prospect of this going to a 5th set. Look at Blake's record, 1-10.
And the one win was against 53-year-old Fabrice Santoro at the U.S. Open this year. That was his first. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Santoro's in his at least mid-30s. Južnij pumping his fist. Blake calling it out. We'll see who gets the last laugh here. This is a pretty important point. Blake went for the slow. That looks like it might be touching. It is. I actually like to see Blake change the direction when they're in that slice rally and try the forehand side of Južnij. Low into the forehand. He's got an extreme Western grip, Južnij does, and they normally don't feel comfortable with balls that are down low. Good serve from Južnij.
Big one. So Južnij comes back and now leads 6-5. Blake will serve to send it to a tiebreak when we come back. Welcome back. Portland, Oregon, Memorial Coliseum. Davis Cup Final 2007. The second singles match of the day. James Blake, Mikhail Južnij of Russia. In a dogfight here in the fourth set. Earlier today, Andy Roddick, there he is. Beat Dmitry Tursunov 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. Impressive display by Roddick. Now Blake serving to stay alive here in the fourth set. Send this to a third straight tiebreak.
Now, nice comfortable game from Blake. You would think this is where I can't understand some of Južnij's reactions. He should be putting the ball in the court right now. Blake gave him the last service game. He obviously played a nervous game. Give him a chance to play nervously again if you're Južnij.
And the ace. James Blake coming through, holding it love, sending it to another tiebreak. The Davis Cup Final by BNP Paribas, the U.S. and Russia, presented by AIG. Bill Patrick alongside Jimmy Arias. Leaf Shiras is courtside. Russia, the defending champion. The U.S. trying to win for the first time in 12 years. Blake won the second set tiebreak. Južnij returned to the favor in set 3.
Really love the way Južnij, when he takes that ball early, hits a good shot, that he senses he's got control of the point and he closes so quickly. He was almost a foot away from the net to hit that first volley. That body language from Blake after that point. He didn't play a bad point at all. It was just too good from Južnij. Took advantage again of a short ball.
Mini break here from Južnij. And a second serve to boot. That one measured down the line, didn't he?
But Blake peppering the forehand side of Južnij in that rally. Didn't want to deal with, he's seen enough backhands hit cleanly from Južnij. Didn't want to deal with that side.
back on serve here in the tiebreak.
That's too good. I like the play from Blake. He tried the short low ball to the forehand, and Južnij just crushed it.
And Blake liked the play too. He's going to tip.
There it is, low and short. Južnij really accelerated on that first forehand. A lot of action. Set up the short ball.
Big serve out wide.
You know, this is the first tie break where we haven't changed sides with someone in a comfortable lead. It's a 3-all, still very much in doubt.
My palms are clammy. I don't know about you. I feel like I'm playing.
It's funny, it's out of the American bench when you watch him, Roddick, the most nervous of everyone. He knows he wants to not have to worry about playing again. You can see the winners, Blake, dominating that. The unforced errors even. The match is almost 3.5 hours old. And now we're really coming down to crunch time. You can't afford to lose a point on your serve this late in the tiebreak. And this is where Južnij, we saw his tiebreak record, isn't great.
Right.
Because he doesn't have that big serve to rely on and get some free points. Most likely he's going to have to play 2 rallies here.
Oh, big return by Blake.
And a little bit of a tightening around the neck for Južnij on that drop shot. He's been so solid when he's hit drop shots, and this one only halfway up the net. Blake on the verge here, but he's been there before.
Oh, huge.
Got to keep those emotions in check, Blake.
Thank you. 6-3 USA. Quiet, please.
Triple match point. And there it is.
USA. Place up to 6-3, 7-3, 6-7, 7-2.
Jimmy, what a monstrous moment for James Blake.
Well, he knows that he struggled in 5-setters. Everyone knows he struggled in 5-setters. It looked as though he had the match won when he served for it, lost serve at love, and then you had that sinking feeling that Blake's not going to come through in this match. Credit to him that he was able to calm those nerves and come through at the end when he needed it. Great win for James Blake on so many levels.
Well, you had 12,000 people here who were as nervous as he was, I'm sure. But how big is this? The U.S. up 2 points to none And the Bryan brothers go tomorrow in doubles, the best doubles team in the world. We'll be right back after this. Back in Portland, where James Blake won the last 5 points of that tiebreak to beat Mikhail Južnij in 4 sets. The time of the match, 3 hours and 29 minutes. And the U.S. with a commanding lead, 2 points to none over defending champion Russia. Let's now go courtside and check in with Leif Shiras with the winner. Leif.
Such a special moment for you, and obviously this was a big match. There was so much in it. What was the key for you getting through it today?
Just the confidence that my team had in me. You know, I've been asked questions all week in press conferences about whether I was mentally tough enough to be out here, and I just don't believe anyone can get to the top 10 in the world, can be on a Davis Cup finalist team without being mentally tough, and I wanted to prove it today.
Well, you certainly proved that and more. Južnij started playing better and better. How did you deal with that? There was a point early on that really set the tone where he lobbed over your head, you got the ball back, and came up with a running pass. Did that say to you that I can win this match? Yeah,
he played unbelievable, and anytime I can run down balls like that and show guys they have to put balls away 1 or 2 extra times at every point, it makes me feel good about the way I'm playing and make them have to work even harder. But, you know, he played great. He really did. He's got a lot more experience than me in these kind of moments, and for me to come through is a big moment for me and hopefully this team and this crowd.
The Coliseum's a long way from Olympic Stadium in Moscow. Yeah. This must feel good to have a home final.
It feels great to have a home final. I was nervously watching on TV when we had an away final in 2004, and that was tough to watch, but to be playing is a little more fun. But to be playing at home makes it a whole lot more fun.
Well, you and Andy have really set the table now for a couple of guys you know well, Bob and Mike of the doubles tomorrow. You must be feeling very good.
I feel great. Anytime we come into a match with Bob and Mike, we feel pretty darn good. No matter what surface, what situation we're in, if we got Bob and Mike on the court, we feel great. So I'm going to sit back and hopefully I got to play them in doubles a few weeks ago in Basel, and they beat me up pretty bad. I like watching them a lot more than I like playing them, so it's going to be fun tomorrow.
Hey, congratulations on one of your greatest Davis Cup performances.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you.
Jimmy, I thought it was very, very interesting that James Blake talked about the confidence his team had in him.
Which I think helped him. He said he's been sick of hearing all the mental woes that he has over the years, and he proved everyone wrong tonight, including me, really.
Well, he certainly did. The United States with that commanding 2-0 lead over the defending champions here in the Davis Cup final. The U.S. trying to win for the first time in a dozen years.